And I'm going to start recording the session.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, everyone. I think you are excited like me to start this workshop. For those who is from outside KAAUH, my name is Nofis Shammiri, a clinical resource nurse in King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz University Hospital in the Nursing Education Department. First of all, thank you very much for joining us today and showing your interest in our workshop. We really appreciate it. I'm very excited to introduce my guest of honor, Ms. Samira Ali Baba, professional certified coach from International Coaching Federation and the past president of Coaching Bahrain chapter. Ms. Samira has a solid base and a strong background in management, and she will join us, inshallah, in the second hours. And you saw her actually. We start our workshop with her. So we don't want to take or to lose any more time. Let's start with our workshop. Because the time already 7. Okay. As we realized, based on the registration, that the majority of attendees don't have coaching background or never attending any coaching workshop or courses. So that's really interesting. Yani they will help, our workshop, it will help them, inshallah, and gain an understanding about coaching concept and how they will use it in the workplace. So, in the first hour, we are going to talk about a little background about coaching, and we'll discuss the meaning of coaching and how it's different from mentoring concept. Then we will talk about the impact of a crisis on both employee and organization, and how does this link to anxiety and stress. Finally, yet importantly, we will talk about why it's important coaching in a crisis, the vital role of coaching plays in the time of a crisis. So coaching became popular in 1980s and 1990s, with recent estimates suggesting based on the International Coaching Federation statistics in 2016. There are approximately like around 54 professional coach worldwide. That was in 2016. You don't know now how the number of coaches increased. So in the literature, there are many definitions for coaching, but at the end, the same meaning it's coming. So what Bakirov, Cox, and Clutterbuck claimed in their study, they defined coaching as a human development process that involved the structured plan, focused interaction between coach and coachee. I can say it in a simple way. Manager, if she or he has coaching skills, and his or her employee, and using of appropriate strategies, tools, and techniques related to the coaching to promote what? Desirable and sustainable change for the benefit of the coachee and potential for other stakeholder. So coaching is being used in exchange with other different terms, such as mentoring. Am I right? So always we are confusing what is the difference between mentoring and coaching, which is not quite accurate. They are the same. It's important to understand what is the difference between mentoring and coaching. What is the character of mentor, the character of coach? So before we go further in the workshop, let's go to the breakout room to discuss further what is mean of mentoring, what it mean of coaching, how you use it in your organization. So let's have a conversation, then to the original room, inshallah, when one person will summarize what have you discussed in your room, and summarize what you have discussed in your room, okay?
All
Ms.
right.
Samira, can you help me to...
Sure. So for those اللي كاتبين في الchat that we are not hearing anything, just عدل الإعدادات نفس ما قالوا لكم. روحوا على الميكروفون and then test it بيكون same as system, or تختارون الميكروفون within your Zoom settings. Right? I hope it works with you guys now. So what we will do now, we will take you into breakout rooms. And then you in the breakout room for 5 minutes will discuss the difference between coaching and mentoring as per your understanding. فتتناقشون مع المجموعة اللي بتكونون مع بعض في البريكاوت روم ولمدة 5 دقائق وبعدين اوكي شنو الفرق بين الكوتشنج والمنتورينج على حسب فهمكم الحالي. Once you're back, you will share some of the insights you came up as group. Any questions before we take you into breakout rooms? المحاضرة مسجلة يا زينب. Right? So we'll take you to the breakout rooms now. It's for 5 minutes. You will be automatically taken. I encourage you to, talk to your colleagues. Right?
Make it as possible so we can learn from each other.
Definitely. So now you're good to go. Miss Ala الشاعر نهاد محمد فواز. You do have, right? You do have a link that requests you to join the room. Okay, so we are waiting for the rest to join their breakout rooms. You automatically will be sent to the breakout room. For some of you, you might have a request to join breakout rooms. So the attendees are in the breakout rooms and they are discussing the difference between coaching and mentoring. And welcome back. Noof, are you around?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so you can take over now. We had a couple of people who were not able to join the breakout rooms. I hope you had a couple of minutes. Oh, that was really quick. I know, doctor, I know. All right, so what I'll do is I'll keep muting just in case if somebody's microphone opened by mistake. I'll just mute them, right? So go ahead, Noof, the floor is yours.
How was the room that you are inside? How was the room that you discussed with them, Ms. Samira?
Well, I did
The
not go.
discussion.
I was here welcoming people, telling them what to do. Those who were not able, I was trying to let them join. Somebody should be في الضيافة, right, in the front.
So, you know, in my room was really interesting discussion.
MashaAllah.
They really have the background about coaching and mentoring. So let's see what they will share with us.
So who would like to go
Okay.
first? Sure, who would like to go first?
بعد بكرة صح؟
لا مو بعد بكرة.
Shall we raise a hand or what we should do?
Oh, since you opened your microphone, go ahead, Mr. Ahmed. Is that Mr. Ahmed?
How are you? Yes.
أهلا وسهلا. Go ahead.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
We already was having a short time discussion about the difference between coaching and mentoring, and I think I will have the credit for I forgot the name already. Sorry for her. Yeah, we were talking about mentoring. I was saying that when I have being a CNO, that when I have a new nurses, that I will have all the time mentor for the new nurses, mentor them. He will be guiding them in their units, and assess them and reassess them for their competency for accomplishing their tasks. And if they want to ask something, they will go for him. It will be long term. We already agreed that it will be on a long term. But coaching is something else. There's of course, for example, a task I have to do it. I will coach the people how to do it in a short term. We agree that it's like this.
That's an interesting conclusion, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's perfect.
Anyone else wants to share? Ms. Hawazin, please go ahead. You raise your hand. Unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Ms. Amir. Good evening. Hi,
أهلاً
Ms.
وسهلاً.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have had a really interesting discussion with Ms. Amal about the difference between coaching and mentoring. And it was interesting that she stated that the difference between mentoring and coaching is similar to the difference between leadership and management, which I find it really true.
Interesting. Very interesting. Allahu Akbar. Yes.
So she said that there is a different, and we during our discussion, we did say that coaching is mainly about helping people to find the answer, while mentoring is about giving the answer straight away.
Well done. Here we go. Coaching 101. You passed, Hawazin.
Yeah.
You bet you definitely had a very good teacher, isn't it?
That was
Thank you, Hawazin. That was really interesting. Very good. Fatma Al-Khabbaz, you raised your hand. Miss Fatma, go ahead.
Yes, for health coaching, I will start with mentoring first. Mentoring is the expert approach, which is the mentor. He is the expert. He is giving the advice. He has the experience. He has everything. Otherwise, the opposite side is the coach. The client is the expert. We listen to the client. He know what he wants. He has the goal. We only like guiding secretly to the goal that he has. So he is the expert, not the coach is the expert.
Yeah, I like the notion of secretly. Interesting thoughts. Thank you, Fatma. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to share their thoughts?
Yes,
Go ahead, Abdullah. Go ahead.
I am Abdullah Jaber from Prince Saud bin Jalawi Hospital.
Ahlan, Mr. Abdullah.
We have in each department an instructor. And each department have one instructor, ICU instructor, surgical side, medical side, media side. So we are following, each one following his new staff by his own department.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
And we are giving complete this policy and the procedure for nursing or for the department itself, like this.
All right. So what I'm hearing from your answer, Mr. Abdullah, when you say, this is what we do, and is it mentoring or coaching or something else?
It is mandatory for each department.
All right. So it's mentoring as opposed to coaching. Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Ms. Noof, would you like to take over?
Yes, okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting.
And you're cutting off your
conclusion.
How is your internet connection?
Yeah, I can see. I was like scared.
It's all right. Just be closer to your microphone and it will work. Go ahead.
Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear now.
Perfect. I can hear also from Annette. She concluded a nice idea in the room. Annette?
Is Annette around? Annette Van. Would you like to contribute your input?
Yeah. The mentoring is your person that is actually the person has got the knowledge and skills regarding work. But if you look at your coach helps you to be a better person. And also you can actually guide them. You don't give them answers. You're not a psychologist. You actually give them the coping mechanisms. You give them the tools to survive and the tools to do a better thing and to be a better person.
Wow. So, Ms. Annette, what I like about your answer is so holistically looking at coach's role and how it provides a psychological safe environment for the person to grow. Right. Thank you, Ms. Annette. That's really interesting. Thank you so much. No, go ahead.
Thank you, Annette. Okay. Okay. We can I share again or is already?
Sure. You are a co-host. Go ahead.
Okay. So as you mentioned, you know exactly what it means, mentoring and coaching, the difference between them. So it's similar to what you shared previously. So I'm not going to go through this table. between the mentor and coach. So I will tell you a case scenario where you can see the difference between mentoring and coaching in action. So you can see here, oh, Miss Annette, can you give me the initial steps when setting up the database for the online client account? Yes, of course. I will email a few bullet points when I'm back at my desk in a couple of minutes. Great, thanks. This is mentoring. You can see how she gave her the advice, like directly, immediate what she wants. Let's see the coaching. Miss Janet, I have set up the database, but I'm not sure how to gather all the information on the various clients. Can you help? Yes, have you got any idea where this information may be stored? Well, I guess Van may have the client details as he set this up initially on the old system. I could certainly ask him. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Anything else that occurs to you? See how the coach asking questions. Yes, the new client details are stored automatically as they log into the system. So I could ask Emma if she can transfer them over. Excellent, that seems to be settled then. You can see simply how it's different between mentor and coach. So of course, Miss Janet, the coach, could have easily given all the information to him, right? To the coachee, by using the skills of questioning and listening to his need, and she has enabled him to find his own answer. So how much more motivating is this for your staff? It's really motivated. It also has the added bonus that once people gain confidence, they will not keep bothering you with questioning. And it encourages them to think through for themselves. So they will find what they want, but they want someone like using the powerful questions. Okay? So this is, in a simple way, the difference between coaching and mentoring. Okay, so the impact of a crisis. So when we talk about crisis, the first things come into your mind is COVID-19, right? Hello? Is it clear, my voice?
Yes, it is clear. Actually, it's especially when you talk about the impact of crisis in your field, isn't it?
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Lots of people in the chat, they're saying yes, yes, yeah, clear. Go ahead.
yeah, you can see from the pictures how it's really disaster.
And some of them were there in
So,
that story as well.
yeah, absolutely. They experienced actually this
True.
this time. So this is true because the pandemic has negative consequences, right?
Right.
Which affected many people, physical and psychological health and being. You can see from the pictures how it really affected the doctor and nurses in the floor. So in the early stages of the outbreak, health.
Oh, no, no, if you're cutting off, I think. No? Or do we still have you here with us?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
Is it?
It's cutting off,
Okay.
but just repeat it where you related it to the work.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, so COVID-19, it's really has a negative consequences. Affected many people, physically, psychological health, and you can see clearly in the early stages.
You're cutting
Healthcare
off now.
system globally were overwhelmed of the numbers of the infected people. Here, Ms. Samira?
Now it's okay.
Okay,
Just slow
perfect.
down
So,
and go step by step.
yeah. I'm not sure what happened to that work. I'm so sorry for that.
There is a pressure on network. It might be because of the number of participants, but go ahead, just relax and move smoothly.
Sure. Perfect. Sure. So many doctors and nurses who had no infectious disease expertise were moved off their original working areas to provide care to the patient with COVID-19. And that experienced, am I right, in the hospitals, in the healthcare institutions. We can see how, like, if I can talk about nurses pulled out from some areas like women health, going to another area, take care of COVID-19 patients, and they don't have experience how they deal with infectious disease. So many recent studies showed that healthcare workers reported high level of anxiety, depression, and stress, and some even may experience post-traumatic distress syndrome in the future. And exactly that's what happened. So the increasing work demand on the healthcare professional has also led to physical exhaustion, fatigue, burnout, and absolutely lead to turnover. So looking into a bigger picture, a crisis such COVID-19 has a devastating effect, not only on the healthcare industry, but also on other industries, not like the healthcare, right, Ms. Samira?
Well,
So,
it depends on
as
what
you
we
may-
call as an impact, right? So it has an impact, but it has major impact on the healthcare and education. That's for sure.
Yes, perfect. So you can see, Ms. Samira, there is like some companies, some small business had to shut down because of the pandemic, right? And as a result of many people have lost their job, and consequently they suffer financial dilemma.
True.
And I think you have also these in Bahrain, right? The same.
Definitely. It's a global issue now.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's try to answer this question. Why employee develop anxiety and stress during crisis or tough situation? So definitely there are many reasons as discussed, as the heavy workload. But who's the major contributor in this? Absolutely the leaders, right? So in the time of a crisis, many leaders will focus on analyzing, assessing the current status to making vital decision. They focus solely on what needs to be done and how to make it work well. And exactly that's what happened. So while they sometimes forget about how should do it, what is their capacity, and what support or education do they need? And because of this, employee will be left behind. They forgot about their employee, develop sense of uncertainty, and will be anxious and nervous of the constant changing situation. So what we have today might be not available tomorrow, right? And what works in a certain situation might not be ideal in other situations. So when there's no open communication between leaders and their staff, and when the staff are not well informed, absolutely will end with things will not go well, right? Okay. So why might coaching important in the crisis? Why coaching in the crisis? So coaching has a personal and professional level. However, in this section, we'll focus in 6 major gains of coaching in time of a crisis. First of all, assist in reducing employee stress. What it means? Meanwhile, one of the biggest and vital opportunities from the perspective of a neuroscience-based coaching is that there are many tools and techniques of professional coaching scientifically proven to reduce the stress. So we just talked about how we stress out people in time of a crisis. And under this level of stress, what ends up happening is that our prefrontal cortex is also known as the executive functioning part of the brain get flooded with a neurotransmitter. And when that part of the brain has too many of these transmitters, It's compromised and its ability to think long-term, make good goals, have empathy, and be able to think more abstractly rather than black and white. So helping people to do things as simple as look at their values, focus on what they can change, take a new perspective. So actually there is scientific studies that shows that those sort of things which are part of each coach's toolbox help reduce the stress. So it's already proven scientifically when there is a certified coach in the place and using their skills, coaching skills, this is really how to reduce the stress. And it's definitely part of helping people managing through tough situation or crisis. So it's help to process what is going on during the crisis. So this is an unprecedented time, which is fast-paced and consistently changing. The very fact that we have little to compare it to make it exceptionally difficult to process and make sense of. But what coaches are just amazing at is taking the stuff coming out of the radio, the TV, the internet, and connecting it to the individual, who's that person is, what is the important to them, and really help them to process it, to understand what's going on around them. Absolutely, to be able to manage well and adapt well. Because right now, it's sitting over many people like a big, giant black cloud. And I think being able to process it, possibly make sense of it and take action as a result of that incredibly process. So is what going to enable people to get through it? Because if things don't being processed as they are happening, they are more likely to turn into trauma. And what the research showed is giving people ways to process as it goes, help move it through. So that doesn't continue to impact you in terms of your effectiveness and abilities. Helps leader to create a healthy work environment, which I mean, giving managers and leaders coaching provide a noticeable ripple effect. This is essential in time of a crisis, and it goes back to the idea that leaders have a potent impact on the weather of their organization. So when the leader are calm, emotionally regulated, thoughtful, patient, those around the leader, their staff, absolutely they will feel more able to respond more thoughtfully as well. So in many crises or tough situation, we may experience a passive aggressive behavior within the organization. And that's what happened. Yani, everyone look how they will solve this, situation, how they will work well. So as I mentioned before, related to the brain and the stress chemicals, when the brain gets flooded with the stress chemicals, which is related to the point one, assist in reducing the employee stress, empathy is one of the things that gets a little blocked, right? So based on the International Coaching Federation in 2013, they distributed a survey of 24 organizational leaders. They found that coaching assists with leadership development and performance, increase the level of employee engagement, and also reduced attrition and improved the team performance. So coaching will help being people back to their best selves. They have the resilience to make the right decision for whatever enterprise they are leading or managing. And we'll all know that people don't leave a bad company, they leave a bad manager, unfortunately. So the last thing a company wants is for their best talent to leave because they have a manager who is not equipped to be able to deal with what's happening. So all that negative behaviors that come out when you don't feel centered or grounded, coaching can help in this matter. So for its mean, retain and develop top talent. How coaching help in this? So it's more critical than ever. And we do know that coaching is a way. There's a lot of good evidence in the literature about that. This is linked again to what I mentioned before. People don't leave organization, they leave bad leaders. So there is opportunity for coaches because this is one of the things that get companies really nervous, is losing top talent. And they know that drastic change, whether it was initiated by organization or an external change, are things that get people to think differently. So saying, I may need to leave, or maybe this is not working. I think there is opportunities that. So this is a budget, and hopefully states be able to get coaches to work with their leaders. Number one, to keep top talent. Number two, to the best gift you could give to your talent, and also to show them you really care about them. So want them to stay and give them a coach. So it's actually expensive to lose one of the contributed at a mid-level in an organization. The cost of replacement depends on the company and industry, but what can I say generally? That it's estimated to be 3.5 times their salary, but there is all kind of laws. So so the historical information, the brilliant that walks out of the door to competitors, and trying to find someone, trying to get them up to speed. So it's really costly in that. There is someone in the screen showing
Yeah, Mr.
us
Ibrahim,
their
can you please stop annotating? All right. Thank you, dear.
creativity everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Mm.
So 5, it helps to shift employee mindset. So how coaching help in this way? So coach also help people to move out of fixed patterns and mindset shifting. The mindset forms a fixed into a growth mindset is really important in time of a crisis. So definitely coaching enable adapting different mindset and broaden perspective. So it's been said always that when you are stuck, the first thing to consider is, should I have a coach? And I think things are different now, and many people start to think, what should I be doing? Or am I stuck really? So, this is what happened really. So in the time of a crisis, it is not the survival of the fittest. It's actually the survival of the most adaptable. With this to say, there's something about how flexible could we be and how much we can get of a certain mindset. So for example, before COVID-19, many education organizations love training in person. And they thought will never be a virtual training. Before, we didn't see a lot of online workshops or online training. It was like really in person. So start thinking how to do that virtual training engaging and effective. And this is one of the biggest opportunity in 2020. And now we can see a lot of training and workshop, it's become online, which is open a lot of opportunities to others to attend. I can attend now training or workshop from Bahrain with Ms. Samira. I can attend a workshop like in other country or here in the Saudi Arabia, like in different cities, or even during your work time. Okay, last thing, enable employee to find their purpose and meaning in the time of a crisis. So people are thinking about purpose and meaning as a result of a crisis, and they should be. Why? Because people are saying, wait a minute, I like this. And sometimes they don't, I don't like this. So I like this different pace, saying I like to stay home with my family more, or without reflection and without chance to say, do I then make that part of my life, or what are the creative ways? So which definitely need an external support of some kind, ideally like a coach. So without this support in terms of surfacing and focusing on questioning questions of meaning, life purpose, and important values, all too often the things we learn in crisis are lost. So coaching can help us powerfully reflect on what we are learning about ourselves and out of each experience that we encounter. So coaching, behind every fearless applier is a fearless coach who refuses to let them be anything but the best that they can. So you can see now the importance of coaching, the benefit of coaching during a crisis, and hopefully now everyone will develop their skills as a coach and help their employee. So at this stage, you may wonder how you would implement a coaching in the workplace, and absolutely the best person, Ms. Samira, to guide you and provide some case study. Ms. Samira?
Ahlan wa sahlan. I don't know about the best part, but thank you so much, Nov. That was really insightful. Quite a nice beginning and a kind of like a foundation of what I'm gonna, do with the participants here. So, would you allow me to share my screen and stop your sharing? All right. So, do you see my screen, everyone? Okay, now what I want from you, Noof, is when I'm going through, and if anyone has a question in the chat box, or they have, a pressing issue happening, or if I'm cutting off, please let me know so I can be aware. For the rest of you guys, I just posted a link in my in the chat room. Okay. And let me see.
Yeah.
All right, so there is a link in my chat room. Can I see that? Am I cutting off? Let me just double check. Guys, if by any mean, the internet cut off, don't worry. Even if the meeting cut off, you will still be able to join the same meeting again with the same link, right?
Sure, Miss Samira.
All right, so I just changed my network and it didn't cut off, but anyway. So حطيت لكم link. If you clicked on that link, بيبكم, it will bring you directly to my peer deck. Alternatively, you can go to joinpd.com and enter this code. Great, so I have 20 students. For those who cannot join, it's totally fine because we will be checking the chat room. You can answer in the chat room. Okay, let me give you around 30 seconds to join the peer deck. So what peer deck does, when we will ask a question, take you through a journey of self-reflection, you can add your answers there. Okay. And by end of the sessions, you will receive a copy of my presentation, Ms. Nov's presentation, and the copy of the video and the chat box. Okay. So we have 33 students joined. All you need to do is just click the link. And here we go. So we are starting our session. Welcome everyone. It's part 2 of the session, Coaching Through Crisis. My name is Samira Baba. I'm an ICF PCC professional certified coach. I've done a lot of things such as, coaching on national level, coaching on international level, but this session is not really about me. It's more about you and how you can cope with that. Okay, How do you feel now? Let me see. Put your responses. Make a circle on the feeling, on the egg which represents your feeling right now. اخدوا القلم and make a circle on how do you feel now. Yeah, there's somebody's crying there. Oh, good, good. I like that. Mumtaz, I like that, Najah, you're using the annotation. Excellent. So if you cannot join the peer deck, annotation is fine. Great. So just looking at this crowd, you can see how mixed feelings we have right now, right? It says something, guys. It says a lot of stuff. This is how the entire world is going. So tell me, are you ready for this journey? Are you ready for my session? Let me see. Oh, yes, yes. Okay. Are you ready for this session? Mustafa says yes. Great, a lot of yeses there. And let me go back. Good, I was born ready. I like that. Good, good, good. This is a good check-in for me to know how deep we are going in this session now. So let's go ahead and move on. Now, what is the biggest challenge we as individuals, or you want to reflect on your organizations, are still fighting? I on purpose wrote the word fighting instead of facing, because we are no longer facing, we are fighting, right? Let's see what answers. Let me give you 30 seconds to answer it, right? What are the biggest challenges our organizations or ourselves are fighting still? Let's see. Wow, nice answers are coming in. Great. Time management, personal differences, absolutely. Some of us, we had these things pre-pandemic and it's just showing still. Funny enough, a lot of people said, well, you know, Samira, working from home apparently is working for you because you guys are working less as trainers. And you know what? No, it's not true. We are actually working more working hours, longer working hours. Difficult, unchanged brain. I like that. Teamwork, communication, struggling. Predict what comes next. Absolutely. We started shifting our annual strategic goals, you know, the 2 years, 1 year, into 6 months. And some of them are on 3 months level. So it says that the way we are moving forward are shorter term goals, right? Let's look at the answers. I wonder if you guys can see your colleagues' answer on the screen. Self-respect, pressure, absolutely right. You guys are absolutely right, right? So moving on, what's working so far? I mean, we always say in every difficulty, we have a blessing in disguise, right? So what was the working part? What's working so far for you, for your organization? Keep smiling, I like that. Let's see, what's working for you? Remember, guys, this is a self-reflection part. You can write it down, you can write it in the chat box, or you can join our peer deck using the link and write what you think with us. The answers are anonymous. Even I don't know who wrote what, but I can delete, by the way. So let's see, what's working so far? What worked in the pandemics? Adapting, peer support, I like that. It shows when people say peer support means you are in good hand. You are with good teams. Positivity, great manager. You're blessed, ma'am, you're blessed, or lady. Do good and motivate others. See, now this mindset shifts from internal feelings into external good, right? Friendly attitude, I like that. Self-learning. How many workshops you attended recently? I mean, the global platform for workshops are going crazy. Peer assistance, I like that, being optimistic. Great, some nice answers here. Motivation in the chat box, support, leadership. This is what's working. I remember I had a manager long time ago. I worked for Bahrain Institute for Banking and Finance, and I had a very good manager, to be honest. And the manager, whenever someone would come in and say, let's fix this, and he would say, if it's not broken, try to put your efforts in something to improve something that is critical, right? So if this is working, let's build on it. It's a strength that we have right now. This is where the coaches come in, because coaching is all about empowering yourself and building on what's working, the current strength level, right? So let's see what's not working, what needs to be stopped immediately. Like stop, even from the organization perspective. Some of us, I mean, some of my students would say, Ms. Samira, I want the useless Zoom meetings to stop. Just to stop, just send an email, that will do. Some would say, Ms. Samira, I want my managers to stop calling me at 12 o'clock midnight. I want them to stop thinking that I'm available on Fridays, right? What needs to be stopped immediately? To be hopeless, laziness, right? Poor planning, blame. I love that. That's a big word there. I mean, work of Brene Brown, the blame, shame concept that comes among teams and individuals and organization. It's like Bismillah alaikum, it's like cancer, right? It kills individuals and teams. Pressure and immediate results, right? Our leaders, our team leaders, our supervisors, and if we are the team leaders and supervisors, we are asked and pressured by the management to show results for things that we never did, for results that we don't even know how it looks like, right? Autocratic leadership, depressing, show up, business, disrespect me, truly correct. So what happened in the pandemic, I had a couple of trainees coming in and say, Ms. Samira, I'm required to do our online collaboration. I've never done it before. If I didn't learn it in 1 week, I'll be sacked out, right? And that's the difficult part. The skill set wasn't even required 3 months ago. And now it's one of the competencies that I will be evaluated on in my performance evaluation, right? Some nice answers are coming here. So what worked, what didn't work, and what do we need to do starting from now? What worked, what didn't work, and now what do we need to start doing from now? See. True. Najla, you're right. Stop punishing me for a pandemic that is a global issue. True. What needs to be done right now? So what did the organizations did? What did the individuals did? How people coped and are moving stronger from this pandemic? Now, this is where the coaching comes, right? Coaching is something that takes the current situation and thinks future-oriented. It thinks what we need to do in future, moving forward, and then plan backward, as opposed to what happened and we need to sit down and cry about it. So this is where the coaching comes in. Coaching is future-oriented, solution-focused. Right, being professional, I like that. Excellent, we have 49 people on our peer deck. Education, correct mistakes. Anas, you can join the link which I just posted in the, shukran Imad, thank you Imad. Right, فيو can click on the link and join here وتقدر تحط الإجابات مالينك هنا. And feel free guys, if you want to write in English or Arabic, totally fine with us. Now, stress management, interpersonal experience, totally, yes. What do we need to do? What if this happened again? Right? How am I ready for this in future? That's the question, right? Thank you. So looking at this, build up knowledge, being professional, trainings. What did the organization do, Ms. Samira? They did, I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies where I'll share with you what are the organizations are doing right now and how coaching is helping them. And it's one of the tools that works in such situations. And some of us are there. I don't know, and you're right. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay. How is it when you don't know? Right? What worked? Yeah, true. So let's move on with our reflection and think about this. Now, when we look at these three images, where do you stand today in terms of your self as a leader? في علامة, you have small flags, move them towards the place where you think you are at the moment in your professional career, at work, as a leader. Think about it. Wow, look at the flags are moving so fast. Take your flag, and I gave you 3 colors, so feel free to choose one of them. And you know what happens sometimes? When we do some coaching sessions, they would say, Ms. Samira, can you separate the questions? Because in my life, I am somewhere, and in my career, I'm somewhere else. And it's impacting each other. Right? So look at this group. We have around 29 people or 53 people on our peer deck. And look at the design here, the composition. We are in different places, guys. And this is what we call a systemic view of what's happening in the system. If this was a full team, one specific team working in a department, and we had the members in different stages, this brings awareness to us, right? In what ways people here can help people here. And also, what are you learning from being here? Right? So, think like a toaster. I wonder if you ever came across work of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the gentleman who wrote the book around flow. Flow, which talks about how people get to do things that are so involved in it. They don't feel the time, they're happy, they're challenged. So in that book, there was a story about a guy. I will call the guy Phil because the name is not that important. Phil works for a place where they have big machineries. And Phil was so good in what he does. He would say, if I walk near the machine, I can know what's wrong with it by only listening, hearing the machine, the sound. So people were so amazed with his skill. You know, he can understand machines very well. So when they asked him, Phil, how did you develop this? He said, when I was a kid and we had a toaster at home, my mother will ask me to fix the toaster. How many of you guys were those people who opens everything, all the equipments at home? I was one of those anyway. So he would say, I will ask myself, if I was a toaster, what will not make me work right now? That was an interesting way of looking at it, right? So if I was a toaster, what is the reason why if I'm fixed to the electricity and I'm not working? Like walk in my shoes, totally, yes, you're right, Ayad. So when we look at, if we are team leaders and we have a team that reports to us, if you think about it, if I was this team, why my performance will be low? Why my meetings are not effective? Think like a toaster. If you are a person, individual, leader in your home, ask yourself, if I was my own kid why I'm not committed to my online sessions, right? And if you're dealing with patients, so think about it. If I was a patient, what will make me not cooperative with the team, right? So thinking about the other person, a total empathetic view. Now you have here some dots. I want you all collectively to create the letter, A. Let's see if you can collaborate and make one letter A. So if I'm going to put this in separate um, uh, view, you will find people playing with the dots. But if I made it one, let's see if you can collectively create the letter A, حرف A. مع بعض حولوا الدوتس ودوهم في مكان. Let's see if you can collectively work together to create letter A. I can literally hear people saying, hey, أوقف انطر أوقف مكان واحد, just stop, stand somewhere. Let's see, we have 26 people, 27 people on the board trying to work together to create a letter A. Let's give you 30 seconds to find a way to work here. Not enough dots. You should be worried about your own dot only. Take one dot and try to work with others to complete their photo, to their letter A. I like that, Ayat. We don't have enough dots. Even as a team member, we as an individual don't have the full capacity to reach department goals. We need others to complete the picture with us, right? So if I made it separate, you did try, but these are incomplete images. But when I try to make it as one, right? Maybe reducing some of the dots. Maybe you don't need all dots, right? حاولوا تكملون مع بعض. يعني ممكن ما تحتاجون كل النقاط، تحتاجون نقطة واحدة بس وشخص ثاني يكمل. Right? I like that, Ayat. Now see, Ayat is a natural leader. She said, agree on which color we need to go up. Great, all reds are up. And good leaders are people who ask questions as opposed to tell them, right? So all reds are up, all blues are down. A is not easy. Let's do 2 lines. All reds up, all greens in the middle, all blues down. Yellows are not part of the image. Let's see if you can do that. All reds up, all blues down, green in the middle, yellow is not part of the image. So put the yellow on side, remove it. I like that. In the middle of the page, please. You know, giving directions, excellent. All reds up, all blues down, all greens in the middle, yellow is out of the image. Better, 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 excellent. Like that. See, people are taking lead now. They are giving directions. All reds up, all أنا نسيت. All greens in the middle, all blues in the bottom. كل الأحمر فوق، كل الأخضر في النص، وكل الأزرق تحت. أصفر is out. Let's give you another 10 seconds. Okay. See, each individual is trying their best to achieve to an answer. Collectively, this is how it looks. Now, if we reflect on this, on what happens at workplace, we have people with different skills. They have red skills, green competency, blue attitude, yellow behaviors, and we want them all to work together to achieve a goal. Okay? And if the directions are not clear, if there is no collaboration, no understanding, no planning, it doesn't happen. Despite regardless of how committed each and every one of you is, if you notice in the individual ones. However, collectively, it's tough, right? So think about this. The purpose of the department must be something that is done collectively as a team, okay? So where coaching fits. Now, where coaching fits is organizations, when they bring coaching, is in terms of, hey, Mr. Mira, come and sit with this guy 3 times and things will work. And my answer will be, as Dr. Ahmed said in the very beginning, it's a long shot, right? It's not a pill. So, oh, I have a spelling mistake here. This question is for you. What do you wish your boss knew about you? What would you want? It's something like, think about it. I wish my boss knew. I wish my boss knew that I really want to do my best. I wish my boss knew that I have kids at home. I wish my boss knew that I'm doing 80% of the team's work. Right? I wish my manager or my team leader knew that I respect him and I respect what he does. I like that. I wish my boss knew I'm a competent person. Let us give you 15 seconds to reflect on this. Because these are the difficult conversations, right? How many times we as team leaders ask our employees, what would you want? What would you wish that I knew? I love that. Love what I do, and I can give more. I like that. See how many competencies and potentials we have in the team, right? We all have so many dots. We just want to find the right way of presenting it. That I need a break. I like that. I wish my boss knew I have ambitions in education. I can lead. I am as dedicated as I want. Just reading your comments brings my spirit up, to be honest. You know, it's the place that we all sit sometimes and say, I wish the person knew what I have in my heart for them, right? It's very overwhelming, to be honest. Yeah, I like that. A lot of nice answers here. And of course, the rest you can also write in the chat box if you want. This question is for you again. What would you want your team members to know about you? I wish my team members knew. You know, I wish my team members knew that I really, really care about them. Leave me alone. I wish my team members knew that I can make their work easier. شنو نتمنى أن اللي نشتغل معاهم يعرفون؟ Right? I wish they knew that I was hurt when they didn't invite me in that meeting. I wish they knew that I wanted to be part of that decision. Very nice answers. I love that. I want them to be better than me. I wish they knew that our personalities are different. Right? So here a lot of work happens. Coaching can come in the organizations when there is a cultural shift, where there is work around diversity, when there is work about inclusion, right? When we want every single person with their different colors and skill work together in sync, regardless of their differences. I love that we can build the tallest tower in the world by joining hands together. What a lovely thing. Yes, I care. Teach them to be professionals. Let us give you another 5 seconds to reflect on this. What would you want your team members to know? I love that. I wish they knew that I am also in too much pressure. If you're a team leader, how vulnerable we are in front of our team, right? How much we tell them bluntly that I need help, right? I love that. I love them like my family members. So much deep emotions are here, right? So what we do as coaches in organizations when we are invited in, some of our sessions are collective team sessions when we bring big pieces of paper and give each and every person, and we don't tell them who wrote what. They have the same marker. Of course, if you know the handwriting, then that doctors are safe. Oh no, that's a judgment. Anyway, so we give them big pieces of paper and we say, this is who I am. And they write they complete the sentence, and then we say, this is who I want you to know, this is what I want you to know about me, this is what I want you to know that I want from you, this is how you can support me, and this is how I can support you. And we put all those around the room, and we ask the team leaders to exchange and go and see if they are one team and this is what they're reading, right? We want to stand next to each other, right? So, and now, this is the question for us. In what ways you have been kind to yourself recently? Right? So, reflecting on, this is what we are going through. This is a tough time. This is what's working. This is what needs to be stopped. This is what I want from my manager. This is what I expect from my team members. Let me see. What are you expecting from yourself? In what ways you can be kind to yourself now? This is a big question. Thinking about it, 8 hours to 12 hours at work, another 5 to 8 hours with family, but still we spend 24 hours with ourselves. Right? So in what ways we can be kind to ourselves? What would you want yourself to know about yourself? Oh, I love that I am a joy person. We do a lot of mirror work and self-reflections with our coaches. When we talk around, imagine yourself sitting in front of yourself. What do you want to tell yourself? And sometimes with the mirror, actual mirror, it's a very deep exercise. When you look in your own eyes and talk to yourself. I don't mean in the crazy way. I mean in an authentic, right and true and genuine conversation, right? Sometimes we ask them, imagine that one of your parents or one of your grandparents is sitting in front of you. What would that person want you to do now? I like that. I treat myself to a day trip to the sea. Ya salam. I hope you're located near sea. Enjoy my work. I can do it. Be patient. Appreciate myself. Stop being lazy. We all have our inner conversations. The question is, what type of conversation is that? Let me give you another 5 seconds to reflect on this. And if you have pen and paper, you can write it down. This is a very strong question. Calm down, Maya. Yeah. So today what you're doing, you're looking at your environment from all aspects. You're looking at your leaders, you're looking at your team members, you're looking at yourself, you're looking at the system, you're looking towards future. I love me, yeah, like that. So moving towards some of the cases, and during this specific period, the last 7 months, what I was involved in as a coach. So as a Coach Me coach, I was involved in organizational level implementing coaching culture and coaching projects. So one of the organizations, a big telecom company in Bahrain, we did in the beginning of the year before pandemic spreads and the lockdown started, we did an exercise where we asked the employees to select one of the 40 words. What is the word of the year? So we have words such as leadership, empowerment, consistency, around 40 words. We call them the 40 values. They select one, and then we go into a reflection on what are the habits and the actions you're going to take in order to live that word. The idea is when we leave home, we pick our clothes. When we go to a restaurant, we know what we want to order sometimes, right? So why, if we are going into a new year, we don't know the theme of the year? But when the pandemic came in, we had a conversation with the organization saying that, how is it going? Are people still on their word of the year? So what happened is we had a like check-in session, and we did the same exercise. Are you still with the same word? Did you change the word? What are the new words and what are you learning? So this was a very strong reflection sessions. I still receive messages from those employees saying it was useful for us to sit down and think, right? Other example was one of the organizations in Saudi, a big, it's a petroleum company, and the entire group that we worked with were people who are team leaders and acting managers, acting supervisors. And the organization said, you know what, we want to train them to become leaders who use coaching as a conversation style, as opposed to telling and mentoring, right? We're not saying it's better, what we are saying, it has an impact. So we trained around 55 people on how to have coach-like conversations, right? And name it, companies are asking us to come in to do some one-to-one sessions, team sessions, where we sit together and say, moving forward, what do you want to do? Some companies, they train their employees into Scrum Mastery, Agile thinking, and they started running their meetings more productively, right? But these are all generic examples. My advice is go for what works with you, right? Go with what works for you. Now, tell me something. Where are you from? Let me see this group. Where are you from? Select your flag or stars, yeah. And I gave you a couple of stars, which means if you're from two different places, you can just place those stars there. Let's see. من وين انتو؟ Yeah, Muhammad, I'm all over the place. Right, lovely. Wow, look at the board. Some people are from the sea. عادي يعني عندنا ناس من بحر ما مشكلة. Yeah, where are you from? I want you to look at the board. This is a true diverse group. KSA, great. You can write in the chat box, yeah. Where are you from? True diverse, wow, it's a very diverse group, extremely diverse group. It does. So the reason why I asked you is there is no one size fits all when it comes to implementing coaching as a tool. I live in KSA, I'm from Egypt, lovely, lovely South Africa, Pakistan, excellent. Welcome everyone, right? So a lot of impact is there because we are diverse. Organizations are not purely something. They are a mix of things. Therefore, they have to have a designed approach for their implementation for coaching projects. Let me just remove the drawings here. Okay, so sitting down, having a diagnostic phase with the expert people to see what works for you. Right? Let me ask you this question. How many times you felt disappointed or down in the last 3 months? Let's look at the answers. I'm from Bahrain. Let's see. How many times you were disappointed? And I want to make a point here between what I asked previously and now. 7, 8. Is somebody writing 1 million? أهلا وسهلا أستاذ سلامة. Yeah. 16, 15. How many times you were disappointed? كم مرة صادكم خيبة أمل in the last 3 months? Right? 200. So I want you to look at the mean here, you know, the average answer. 27, 5, and we have 1 million here on the side. So yeah, I can understand. The point is having a diverse team, and they are coping with the pandemic on different levels because they are different. Some of us are not much impacted. I mean, they are taking it okay. And some of us actually bloomed during the pandemic. And some of us, it wasn't an easy transition. And it is not still an easy transition. Therefore, the approaches are different. Now, if I look at that, where are you now? Currently, in your life, are you still in the reactive, such as, oh my God, I'm still taking things day by day? Or, no, Miss Samira, I'm already on my proactive. I'm planning for December, next year, next quarter. I already know how I'm going to take care of the kids, the work, my savings. I know if I got, God forbid, fired, I know what's happening next. Let's see. Where are you now? Right? Yeah. 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 And there is no right or wrong answer, guys. Right? Too many to count. Right? There is no right and wrong answer. This is where we are, and we are just being authentic about it. That's why I was just in part of a project where we are asked to coach the executives. And I was like, okay, what are we working around? They said, oh, we want like 10 sessions with each. I said, no. It doesn't work this way. We want to see what's happening first. And when we went in, one of the reasons are some of the executives are not happy in terms of what's happening at home. Nothing to do with work. And some of them are not happy because what's happening in the market, because markets are closing and shutting down. And some of the executives are not happy because they think they might lose their jobs, right? So each of them will have a different approach, but collectively, we want to move forward, right? So thinking about where people are right now and where they want to be, what are their fears, as Ms. Knopf said earlier, right? So in what ways you can start taking care of yourself, and what ways you're taking care of yourself at work? Right? What is your coping mechanism nowadays? Coffee makes, I understand. I cannot agree more with that. Coffee makes everything good, right? Give me Wi-Fi, give me coffee, I'm good to go. Thank you, no. Yeah, it's a beautiful group, isn't it? Relax. Classic Nescafe, yeah. Black with no sugar. My father used to tell me, you drink coffee like a carpenter because you drink it heavy. Accept all situation, love yourself, manage your schedule. Be sure that you're actually taking notes on what you're writing, right? Have some walking time alone. Let me give you another 5 seconds to reflect on this. In what ways are you going to take care of yourself? Focus on positivity. Gym, yeah, if that works for you, lucky you. Deep breathing, okay? Go social, right? I'm not from a medical background, but I know when you mingle with people, your brain releases good hormones. Yeah, Excellent, excellent. Keep moving. Listen to music. Search new job, right? Actually, you know, whether it's pandemic or not pandemic, it's healthy to do it at least once or twice a year. Just look for your market value. Look what opportunities. If you want to be a manager, not necessarily where you are right now, your next promotion, what skills are missing? What relationships are missing, right? What do I need to do for my next level? Actually, sometimes when we do leadership development programs, we ask them, well, you are an acting supervisor or a potential team leader. What do you need to do in order to become a director? Because now you're already a candidate for team leader. That's off, right? Calling your mom, Allah يخليها يا رب. Meet friends, online calls, yeah. Reading, excellent. Wow. See, maybe we can also, you know, steal someone's coping mechanism because it really works. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Staying calm, engage into workshops. So I'm glad you guys are coming up with solutions. And, you know, this is what works in coaching as well. As coaches, we believe that the coaches are full, resourceful, creative, and whole. They don't need fixing. If you really go and tackle the real things in their life, they can come up with solutions that works for them. So imagine if somebody's taking care of themselves, a mechanism is music, and I will tell that person, go to work out. That doesn't work, isn't it? If I'm mentoring that person according to my style, right? So everybody's wired differently. Spa, oh, take me with you. I haven't been to a spa for the last 7 months now. Ooh, my bad nails. Anyway, right? Walking alone, totally. Yeah, the time alone is a very precious time, guys, right? So let's just take, in what ways you can care for your work now? In what ways you can take care of what you have in your hand right now? So if you are a team leader, in what ways you can take care of your role as a team leader? If you're a team member, in what ways you can take care of your sanity at work as well? Thank you, Dr. Tagreed. I love that, calling my family. Totally, I can totally relate to to this specific answer, delegating, because one of the issues that came up with one of the executive story, which I was telling you, was the director was doing everything that his team members, the manager under him, should do. And not only that, he was also doing the work of the person who reports to the manager who reports to him. So when we look at these things, we have kind of like a reactive action. So we tend to do everything because we are worried things will not happen. And the byproduct of that is we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, right? And the team members also feel confused and empty, right? I like that. I'm a doctor. I really feel comfort by talking with my patients, isn't it? We are wired in a way as human beings, by helping other human beings, we feel good. So that's a very interesting thing that we can actually build on. So that's why we have a lot of people who went into volunteer work, who went into helping others. It is one of the very few times that human beings as a full race globally are suffering from the same thing and trying to help each other. Be committed to your goals. Let me give you another 5 seconds to reflect on this. Motivating them, right? I love that. Brainstorming with my team. That's why the agile way of thinking and Scrum Mastery, using Kanban boards, using Miro as an online platform for brainstorming. These are new ways of collaboration. Thinking carefully, right? I like that. Smart goals. specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or related and time-bounded. Okay, so let's move on. In what ways you can take care of your team members now? What one way that you can say, hey, from tomorrow, this is what I'm gonna do to take care of my team members. And it can be as simple as, Samira, I've sent them an e-postcard. Or I can start coaching them. Or I can maybe ask them to attend one of our sessions. Or maybe I can just buy them donuts. Everybody become, it makes everyone happy. Maybe buy them a coffee. Or maybe I'll try one of the activities you talked about. One of the powerful activities we do is we bring a big jar and put it in the middle of a meeting room and give each of them 2 or 3 pieces of paper and say, write something positive that any team member, when they come to the department and they feel bad or down, they go and draw that, and that's their reward. So if it's like the manager will make me a coffee, he should do it, all right? Or I need someone to give me a neck massage. So that's it. We call it the happiness or the joyful jar, right? Oh, give them a day off. Oh, like you're your team members, right? Be honest. Asking them if they're okay. Wow, that's really powerful. Just simply asking them. Coaching them. Periodic information gathering. Motivating them. Team building. Help them. Let me give you another 5 seconds to reflect on this. So in what ways tomorrow or starting soon, your team members will say, oh, thank you, that was new. We didn't. Is she okay? Helping them, appreciating them, listening to them, right? Making them feel positive. Excellent answers, some excellent answers. Hope you guys are taking notes here. Right? 3 seconds. Accept their temper. Okay, so in this process, in the process of going through pandemic and then whatever happened to us and the learning and the journey and being reactive or being proactive, or what's happening to us, to our team leaders, to us and our team members, who you are being in this process, who you are becoming in this process. من أنت في هذا المنطقة كله? Are we the same people before coronavirus and after coronavirus? I like that. Helper, supporter. Wow. When we did this activity with one of the teams, and we asked them in the end who you were being and who you are being. So we found very interesting answers like, I was being, is it the correct sentence? Yeah. So I was being a negative blamer who blames everything into a thinker who can think about opportunities to improve, right? So who you are being now. Love that. Positive spirit. Leader, facilitator, the guard, love that. The encourager. Wow, what a lovely group. And sometimes it's okay. Become more selfish is data, right? And sometimes it's okay. Maybe that's the right thing to do at the moment. Self-care is extremely important. If you go to the airline, they would say, wear your mask first before attempting to help anyone else, right? So self-care. Let me give you another 10 seconds to reflect on this. Who you are becoming in this pandemic. What is this pandemic teaching us to become, Yahi? Helper, resource, I love that. course, you can write in the chat box as well if you want. Amazing answers, amazing answers. Okay, so this takes us to now. One question, actually. What or who brings joy to your life right now? What or who brings joy to your life right now? What or who brings joy to your life right now? I love that, my baby. Wow. My son, my dad. Do you know what we call this question? We call them our support team, our unconditional love and support team. If you ever came across Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. So in his book, he talks about a concept which says, and you read it, right? Me, okay. So in his book, he talks about board of director. So Napoleon is a little bit weird, okay? He said, if I go into a confusing situation, I bring my mental board of director on table. These are people who I trust their judgment, they like me, I like them. These are people, some of them are dead. So anyway, he would bring Henry Ford, Einstein, and multiple, and Andrew Carnegie, and so on. And he would sit down and say, if Andrew Carnegie was in that situation, what would he say? He would say, right? So your support team is like your crew. In what ways my love for my daughter, the joy that this person brings, I can capitalize on that. In what ways me, Anati said me, in what ways I can bring that strongly in my life now, more. Okay? Some of the nice answers here. I love that. Allah yakhallihum lakum ya Rab. Reading Quran. My mother and my son. Allah yahfazhum ya Rab. Right? Motorbikes, chocolates, yeah. So we are coming towards the end of the session. So one thing, tell me, what are you standing up for? You know, all the ups and downs you went through, the conflicts that's happening, the analysis you came up with. What are you standing up for right now? What would you stand up for? What are you saying yes to? Love that, Dr. Muhammad. Happy to see my facility giving proper services. Excellent. What are you standing up for? This question is related to values. When we go through a journey with a team or with leaders, in the end we would say, okay, what are we saying yes to now? What are your values? What are we standing as team together, as an organizations? Justice, I love that. Truth and transparency. See, look at the words, well deep. Reaching our goals, new opportunities. System, dignity, integrity. So amazing. When all this goes, bye-bye, bye-bye, Corona. When everything goes, what are we standing for? KSA, I love that, Bender. I'm standing for my country, for my land, for my beliefs, for my mission, for my purpose. It's bigger than that fight in the meeting. It's bigger than that argument at home. It's bigger than that somebody crossing the road, right? It's bigger than the pandemic hitting everything. It's what you stand for until it becomes part of your identity. Escape from depression, I love that. Right? Excellent answers. What are you standing for? Oh, I love that. Patience, right, and safety. These are the boundaries. These are our red lines, right? Hey, I came across one of the lectures that, I don't want to say the name of the person, but that lecture. So the guy was saying, coronavirus pandemic is not the only one. we might have a couple of things coming up in future. Allah la yaqul, Allah la yabashra bil khair. Anyway, so what if this happened again? In what ways you're prepared now? Let's see. 55 people are here. Let me see. In what ways you're prepared for the next big thing? This year was quite an interesting year. Oh, I love that. Faster. Always. Cope. Right? We had to cope. And to be honest, it's not, I'm not showing off here, but I'm just trying to make a point. In the first month, I refused to do anything. And that was in end of February till March. I said, I'm not going to do anything. I'll just stay home. Of course, I stayed home till now. And after a month, I said, okay, let me see. If pandemic hits the education and training sector, what will boom? We always need to see the polarities, because when something goes down, something else must go up. So it was the online learning, online platforms, online education, interactions, quality of online education. So I went into the certification path on how to make your sessions more interactive. See, now my question is, if this happens again, what will be the next industry that will boom? And I need to be prepared for that part now. So look at yourself now, and what ways you're prepared for the next big thing. I love that. Avoiding previous mistakes. Hopefully not, but we will adapt, yeah. Huh? And if we look at the history, it's always up and down. It's always up and down. Let me give you another 5 seconds to think about it. Plans. That time you will be expert, right? And if you look at it, this is not the only global pandemic that happened in the human history, right? We had the, what is that? The SARS, we had the TB, we had the cholera, typhoid, jidari, shalatfal, a lot of stuff. And every time things happen, we are learning, right? Not necessarily a pandemic. What if something else happened? I love that. Learning lessons. It's always learning lessons. This was a big lesson. Definitely it was a big lesson for all of us, for all businesses, for all entrepreneurs, for all mothers and fathers and kids and teachers and doctors and everyone. Right? Be more prepared. Be more agile. Right? A lot of our processes were saying, no, stay at work, nothing will change. No, we're not doing these. Working from distance. Oh, you don't need to attend that course. No, we are not changing. Customers still need to come here. Maybe next time we will act faster, right? And the last part is, what is your biggest takeaway from today's session? يلا خلنا نشوف. We have 55 people here and we have around 100 something on the call, right? What is your biggest takeaway from today's session? MashaAllah, 130 participants. Okay, that's a surprise. Let me give you some time to think about it. أكثر شيء تعلمته اليوم، أكثر شيء لفت انتباهك. What did you learn? In what ways coaching can help? What did you learn about yourself? Coaching is fun, yeah. Let me give you some time to think about this. Oh, love you too. I like the app Peer Deck. Yeah. And you can have a free account, by the way. They have it on for right now. I feel relaxed. That's great. I'm glad. Wow, we have 20 answers out of 55. شنو أكثر شيء رسخ معاك اليوم؟ I'm not the only one. Beautiful, beautiful reflection. Beautiful reflection. Support group is one of the big, nice tools to be used these days, right? Great, guys. This was really, really interesting session for me. I mean, I've never done a group coaching for 130 people, excluding me and no, so we are 28 people. So this was really interesting. Loved it, loved it. And of course, if you want to write more. Now, what I'll do is, how do you feel now after the session is done? How do you feel now? Let's see. You remember the eggs? Where are you now between the egg and here? No more eggs, Miss Samira. I'm still crying. Oh, it's okay. Great, I love that. Let's see. Wow, everybody's answer so great. So guys, I have a lot of free resources, free coaching tools on my website. I'm going to give you my website. In the next slide, you will find my contact number. We will send you a copy of the slides and you will find a link. If you click on it, so you will open my website. There is a lot of free resources which you can use. And also, I'll open the platform for your questions if you want. Ms. Noof will take over from now. Here you will find my link. And let me just copy this shorter. If you are looking for your, what do you call that? CMEs. So you can fill this form, which I just kept, which I just pasted in the chat box, okay? And you can fill that form. Once we receive it, only those who will fill this form will receive their CMEs or CPEs. One of them, isn't it?
Semi-hours.
Thank you, semi-hours. I'm going to stop sharing right now. No, if you can take over, ask for questions, and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Samira. I really appreciate your help, your explanation. It was really wow, wow, wow. I really enjoyed it by myself. I hope everyone enjoy the session. If there is any question, still we have 10 minutes if they want to ask in the chat. For the link, please just fill up the evaluation of this session so you can receive the semi-hours. Because based on the names that we receive through this link, you will receive the semi-hours. ما أوعدكم, but inshallah, you will receive.
Okay.
So lovely, Ms. Samira.
Thank you so much, Noof. This was an interesting session. If anyone has questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If not, you have my contact. I'm going to send you the slides and the recording. Feel free to be in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you, Iman. Okay. Thank you. Nope. Let's give them some couple of minutes to, if they have any questions regarding the forum. Hayakum Allah. Thank you so much. It was pleasure. And if you're, thank you so much. Noof, what resonated with you? You didn't tell me. What was your biggest takeaway of today's session?
Meeting you.
حبيبتي.
This is the big things. Inshallah, you will receive the semi-hour once you fill the evaluation, the link that Ms. Samira put it in the chat. Who's asking? Ayat.
Yeah. بس ضغطوا على الوصلة اللي موجودة في الشات بوكس بتوديكم حق فورمة جوجل. ملوا الفورمة إن شاء الله ومس نوف إن شاء الله بتواصل وياكم عشان نطرش لكم السمي hours. نفس ما تقول سمي hours. تعلمت كلمة جديدة.
They will receive, I think, immediately from Saudi
And you're cutting off
Council.
now.
I will send just their names.
Inshallah.
Can you hear me now?
Inshallah. Yeah. Thank you.
I said their names will send immediately to Saudi Council,
Mm-hmm.
so they will receive it.
Inshallah. أي أحد سأل, please just
Thank
fill
you.
the form and inshallah you receive your hours. If not, we will send you, remember the form is for people who attended the session. We'll cross-check it with the attendance. If that fits, then definitely your SME hours will be sent to you for sure. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. No, في ما عندش سؤال. We are good to go. Stay safe.
Fine from side. Thank you very much. Inshallah, next time, Ms. Samira, you will be in person here in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I'll come and not leave that. If anyone wants to, oh, let me just say, let me just see if you, my website is samiraalibaba.com, SAMEERA. So it's www.smra.
Thank you, Jessie.
Here we go. Pleasure, pleasure. Okay, so that's my website, SAMEERA. If you want, I can share with you the last slide, so you can take a screenshot of that. And it has my mobile, my email, and if you click on the link, right, so you will even find the website there. Pleasure. They will contact you. Yeah, they will contact you. No.
Inshallah.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Muhammad. Okay.
All right then.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, and
The
good
upcoming
night.
workshop.
Yep. Good night. مع السلامة. تصبحون على خير. Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.